Estimate the slope of each line. Slope we're going to look at as the ratio of vertical change to horizontal change. If a line goes up, we're going to say a vertical change is positive. If a line goes down, we're going to say the vertical change is negative. For this first line given, we see that it has an upward and right orientation. That is what a positive slope is going to have for any line. What I want to do is mark off a couple of points on the line, and this is a good idea to use if you're not given points on a line, is to go along your line and mark off a couple of points that you know are exact. Like the origin, you can tell the line goes through the origin, so that's 0, 0. If we travel upward slowly, the line really doesn't pass through a really good coordinate until we get to here. When you get to this point, it has the coordinate of 3, 4, and so I'm going to make a note of that. If you didn't see this point, that's okay. If you keep traveling up the line, eventually you reach this coordinate, and it's friendly. It's got a coordinate of 6, 8, and that's totally appropriate. Once you pick out a couple of points on your line, then to get from your first dot to your second dot, there's a vertical change of 4 units and a horizontal change of 3 units. So that rise to run ratio is 4/3. And that's what we did initially in class, is we just counted off the vertical change, and then we counted off the horizontal change from our first point to our second point on the line. Then after we did another example, we came back and investigated how do you calculate the difference between the y values and the x values. The difference in your y coordinates gives you the vertical change. And so for this problem, it was 4 minus 0. It was the second y coordinate minus the first y coordinate. That's how you calculate your vertical change. And then we also investigated how far was the horizontal change, and that's the second x coordinate minus the first one. Second x minus the first x. So for this problem, if you did it with a formula, it would be 4 minus 0 over 3 minus 0. That still gives you a ratio or a slope of 4/3. Excuse me. So again, your first point on your line, that's your x sub 1, y sub 1. The second point you mark on your line is your x sub 2, y sub 2. This is a formula for finding slope. This is orientation for finding a slope. Let's look at another example. The lowercase letter m is also used to represent slope, and I just jotted down the slope formula just so we could use it if needed. The blue line to your right has a negative slope. It runs downhill. One of the points that is friendly on this line is on the y-axis, we have a point 0.05. As we work our way down, that's actually a good point you could use here. That's 1,4. If you keep traveling down your line, it turns out that all of these run into pretty solid points with exact x and y coordinates. We randomly picked 3, 2 in class. You could have picked any of these ordered pairs actually, but wherever you mark your second point, just make sure that your line passes through a nice intersection at this grid. The first point has the coordinates 0, 5. If you're going to use the slope formula, your first x value is 0, your first y value is 5. Using this point as our second point, 3 would be our x sub 2, and 2 would be our y sub 2. This point has the coordinate 3, 2. Using orientation, the vertical change from first point to second point is down 3. That's the vertical change, down 3. The horizontal change from dot to dot would be right 3, and that's your denominator. So this gives us an overall ratio of -1. Now remember earlier how as we travel down the line, we hit exact intersections on the grid. Those are little steps of down 1, right 1 over and over. And so that's how you interpret this ratio. For a line, the ratio of change in y to the change in x is the slope of your line. For this set of examples, we're going to identify the line to the right that has each slope given on the left. Part A, slope of 0. Well, remember that slope is vertical change over horizontal change. If that's going to be equal to 0, then that means the vertical change has to be 0. That's the second line. It has 0 vertical change, but a lot of horizontal change. 0 divided by some fixed whole number. If you were to pick 2 points on this green line, your numerator would be 0 because there's no vertical change. And then just depending on how far your points were apart horizontally, that would be the value of your denominator. Part B, slope is +1. Only one of these lines is positively oriented, and that's line 3. And then part C, your slope is -1. There's only one line that's negatively sloped, and that's L1. For this set of lines, a slope is undefined if it is vertical. Let's think about that. Slope is horizontal change over, vertical change over horizontal change. Since line 3 has no horizontal change, you have a denominator of 0. The vertical change would just be how far apart the 2 points you picked on the line are. So if you have a fraction with a numerical value on top, but 0 on bottom, it's undefined. That's the truth for all vertical lines. The slope is undefined. Part B, the slope of +1/2. This line is positively oriented. It increases as we go left to right. It doesn't increase very fast. In fact, it only has a 1:2 vertical to horizontal change ratio. Slope of -2 would be line 1. It's negatively oriented, and it would have a drop to run ratio of -2 to 1. Sketch the lines through the point 3, 4 with the given slopes. So first, let's correctly plot the point 3, 4. That's here. We go from the origin, we go right 3, up 4. That's the point of interest where we're going to put various lines with changing slopes. Well, the slopes will be fixed, but we're going to change up the slopes. Part A, slope of 0. That's a horizontal line. So this blue line passes through the point 3, 4 with a slope of 0. Part B, slope of +1. From our point 3, 4, if we do consistent changes of 1 to 1, up 1 over 1 repeatedly, and then pick 2 or 3 points that do that with respect to 3, 4, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and so forth. When you draw a line through those points, it will be line B. Part C is slope of +3. This green line from our point 3, 4, we would travel up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, and if you keep doing that, you get a series of points When you connect those with a line, you'll get line C. And part D, a slope of -4. From 3, 4, we would drop 4, run 1, drop 4, run 1. And when you run a line through those points, you would get line D. And then finally, we have another example. We're going to plot the point -3, 1. From the origin, you go left 3, up 1. So here's our point 3, -3, 1. Part A, slope of 2. And like we did on the last example, we'll go to the point that this problem asks us to start. We'll go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, draw a line through those points, and that's line A. Part B, a slope of -2/3. If you go down 2 over 3, repeat that process, you'll always find points that lie on this line, line B. Line C, slope of +3, we'll go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, draw a line through those points, and you got line C. And then finally, line D, an undefined slope. Remember, slope is vertical change over horizontal change. If that's undefined, then you have a vertical line because there's no horizontal change, only vertical change. And so from your point -3, 1, just draw a vertical line through it, and that'll be line D.